Well, welcome back to Two Bees in a Podcast. So, I'm going to ask this because I know somewhat of the answer, but as far as the scale
You're
of
literally just starting
your
in.
weather for this week, how's it been so far? As like we've talked about previously, kind of like what mood you're in, if it's cloudy or kind of a darker mood, sunny. It's been
With
a good
like
week.
clouds being like kind of bad,
Yeah,
rain
yeah.
being like really bad, sun
Yeah.
being perfect.
For us, we're recording this on Tuesday evening, and this is
It's
So
Tuesday
for
evening.
Monday and Tuesday, how's it been?
So, I would say the beginning of the week was mostly sunny, partly cloudy, and tonight there's been a slight thunderstorm.
Okay.
So like overall, the week's been pretty good.
I feel more like it's been a tornado
It's
when I
been-
came in tonight. but
Yeah, it's been basically needless to say, everyone.
we're recording.
It's just not been a good situation here the last little bit, but I'm not going to go into detail.
Yeah.
So that's where the tornado kind of comes in. I'm impressed and walked in the door. Everything went south. That's the tornado. Not really, but
Oh boy.
it's been a good week so far. It's been really busy.
Yeah, actually, how has your last week been? So this is about a record, man. I mean, we actually made it.
In the last like couple years, probably.
Yeah.
Well, no, because
we did trips and stuff, but like for a while, it's been about a record. We haven't seen each other for over a week. I left last
It's been-
Tuesday.
No, Tuesday. Right? You left Tuesday, dude.
Yeah, I left.
It was a Tuesday to
Yeah,
Tuesday.
last Tuesday to this Tuesday, but you didn't see me even until a couple days before that.
Oh yeah, since probably
So-
Sunday.
Yeah.
Probably on the Sunday.
Right.
Yeah.
So you should be
Right.
very honored because I'm literally came home this morning. I was in Indiana.
How do you
And
like that state, by the
Flew
way?
back here. Oh.
You used to live back there. You want to tell us how you... Would you move back, I guess?
well,
You don't have to go in detail.
I
but-
do know I have Indiana listeners.
Well, you don't... Okay, then just like I just asked you, would you move back?
It is a beautiful, amazing state. Like it's perfect.
Lie.
basically.
He's lying. He is so lying.
Okay. No. Honest truth. Okay.
Yeah,
I like
like-
the people back there, and I miss the biggest thing I miss about Indiana. Okay. Obviously, the biggest thing I miss about Indiana is the people there.
I was gonna say you better
As far
start
as the
with that.
area, the biggest thing I miss is the town. I miss Lafayette. We don't have
Okay.
a big town like that. I miss the
Okay.
town in Indiana. I
Uh-huh.
do not miss the state. Especially when we came back there, because there was like maybe one day that was kind of sunny. But even still, I think they're dealing with some
Just-
smoke.
just
kind
like
of,
overcast?
from like Canada or something.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and it was just kind of like smog, kind of, like it's that foggy, kind of smoky, but almost. Like
Interesting.
even when the sun did come out, but most of the days it was
So not like
overcast,
muggy.
raining, muggy, humidity. Oh, I forget how. Yeah, it is windy here, and I do get tired of the wind. But I would almost take it over
over humidity,
humidity.
like occasional wind.
yeah,
Actually, though, the whole time you were gone, one of the days while you were gone, though, it was the windiest it's been all summer.
really. I'm
pretty
glad
sure-
I was gone.
Oh, since you've been
So I
gone.
don't always bring in a tornado.
It was literally so windy. It was literally so windy that I was driving my truck down the road. Next thing I knew, I was blowing out the door, and my truck was gone.
Since it's in your truck, but it is really dirty and dented.
Dude,
so maybe that is.
It
the
is
truth,
really
but-
dirty. Cow manure.
Is that what
your
it is?
Yeah.
Common manure?
Yeah, my truck is like super dirty via my job. But needless to say, Preston's been gone for a week, so I've had a week to kind of reset my life and
word.
relook over things and just realize that it's definitely time to move on. But he's back here sitting in my living room somehow.
Looking at your fish tank and just now noticing. Wait, what happened to that trout? Did it?
He did a little more floating than normal fish do.
So he died.
Floated.
Probably because you didn't clean it.
No,
He
no,
can't do
no,
a
no,
dirty
no, dude.
Like it's dirty.
So I caught the thing in the morning, and I brought it home.
Again.
And by the time I left for after,
Are the catfish dead?
dude, no.
Oh, okay. Okay.
You're not
keep
even
going.
listening to me.
I am. I'm
You
listening.
can
to
cut
you
your
now.
hair so you listen. Oh yeah, I got this thing and I caught it and I brought it home at lunchtime, put it in the tank, and before I left, so I take like an hour lunch break. Before I left for my lunch break, the fish was standing on end in the fish tank.
No way. That
So like,
fast.
I don't know what happened to him. I'm pretty sure
Probably got dropped in that tank of algae
he probably drowned. I just that thought.
Probably
just hit.
not enough air or something. I don't know.
No, well, I put this like air stuff in the tank.
Yeah.
It's like supposed to help fish adapt.
Yeah.
I don't know if that killed him or what.
Probably.
He was like running into the top of the tank, so he probably got a headache and drowned.
Anyway, I remember you saying it, and I don't see it now, so I figured something happened.
Have you ever been worried you're gonna drown? Have you ever had a time where you about drowned, other than in the bathtub? Because you seem like the type of guy that somehow would drown in a bathtub.
I'm trying to bathtub? No, that's
Yeah.
not ever been an issue. There's been times like swimming when I was a kid, like I'd go way deep. I'm like, dude, I don't know if I can make it, but it's just that little bit of like you actually go really, really deep or something. But yeah, I don't really. So obviously, definitely not in the bathtub, but I don't know. Like, have you?
No, I have not ever. I mean, like, okay, there's been times where I've been like, oh, that could be close. Like, I could have almost drowned.
Banks Lake or something.
Yeah, but like, I don't like. My dad taught us when we were
Yeah.
younger how to swim.
What made you ask that? The fish?
No, I don't know what made me ask it. It just
Okay.
came to mind,
Yeah.
and I just thought about asking it.
Yeah.
So, we should just come up with something to talk about right now here on the spot. You come up with something,
Well,
and I'll
so-
come up with something. You ask me something.
Well, I'm
I'll
gonna
ask
be
you something.
I'm gonna be brutally honest right here to those listening. You're getting us a raw.
No, I have a lot planned here.
Perfect. But I guess I'm just saying real fast, like we don't have like this is one that we just don't have the main topic like thought.
Right.
thought
This is a fun one.
Um,
This is just like a random.
Our scheduled out podcasts are quickly coming in because farming is picking up and everything. So, and I went on a week trip. Yes, I'll admit it.
It's
I'll
his
take all the
problem.
blame on my shoulders. I went on a week vacation. So, anyway, you're just gonna get the raw us. This is truly still probably not the true us, but as close as you'll get of us after being a week apart.
That's true. So like,
Anyway, yeah. So you
we'll
have a
still
list
be
of stuff. It sounds
we'll
like.
still be warming up to each other by the end of this.
Yeah, it's
thing.
kind of awkward. Like those awkward stages of like, you've been away from somebody for a long
Mm-hmm.
time, so you kind of like, how's this gonna be? How
Do you know what
awkward
color
is this
polar
gonna be?
bears are? This is not an animal fact.
They're
This
black.
Is, okay, you're smart.
The hair's clear.
Correct. Oh, you know your facts, bro. Anything else about a polar bear you want to tell me about?
The hair's clear, but somehow I forget what makes it white. I think it's it's something,
Can
but
you-
it's clear because so that the sun can come through and heat up their
Can
skin.
you legally hunt polar bears?
No,
I'm pretty sure you can.
you can.
I'm pretty sure.
I'm gonna preview.
I no. You can hunt a polar bear.
Okay, ask another fact.
It's like asking me if I can hunt a possum, dude.
I'm gonna look this up. A
Yeah.
possum?
Yeah. Can you actually? Is there possum season?
We're here? I don't know. Definitely in Indiana.
Dude,
I
there's
don't know
no
if Indiana
possums
would.
here. There's not gonna be
Yeah.
a possum season or
I
anything.
can't even
anywhere.
remember.
That's like, yeah, we got penguin season here in the Northwest.
That would be a little hard.
Oh man, how was your trip? Was it good? Bad? Fun?
Just give me 1 second.
Dude, wow. Something I've been inspired with this week, since Preston's so distracted, I'm just going to keep talking because it's kind of what I usually do somehow.
Yeah, it's great.
Is I would say I've been a little more inspired to attempt, I should say. I feel like I'm very much attempting, and I would not say I'm doing the best at this, but attempting to live with a lot more purpose than I have been.
Did you listen to Harrison Knight's podcast?
No, I don't listen. I didn't listen to that, dude. To have to listen to you talk for like an hour and a half.
No, Harrison did a share talking.
But so that's
Ouch. Okay, keep going.
that's basically how I feel. So yeah,
Okay.
I've really been working on that this week,
More purpose.
and just trying to like live life a little bit different.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm a guy that like I don't very often get mad.
Yeah.
I really don't feel like I get mad or angry. I would say like never, but I get like
Yeah.
kind of annoyed a lot. Like
right?
now sometimes there's reasons,
Yeah.
but sometimes it's just like something kind of goes wrong and I
like,
get
do I
annoyed.
yeah. Should I really be reacting in this way?
Yeah. Well, because like sometimes like you came over tonight and I was kind of annoyed because it's like I didn't want to have to look at you, but here I am.
Yeah.
But no, so like I feel like I want to purpose, just to like, I don't know. It's super hard.
Yeah. So how have you been doing that? Like, have you been?
Well,
living
just
more
like
purposefully?
intentionally like thinking, okay,
like
I'm getting
living
mad
life
here.
with intention.
Yeah.
Like not just haphazardly.
Right, but like if a situation comes up,
Yeah.
like I've had several already this week. Situation comes up, it's like I just gotta move on. Like situation
Right.
comes up, it didn't go good. You know,
Yeah.
that kind of made me a little bit annoyed, mad for maybe that's my own problem or someone else, like however that works.
Yeah.
But it's like, how do I react to that?
Right.
You know.
Yeah. Because how you react to that is obviously sharing how
Right.
your relationship.
So
with
I'm
Christ
super
and your
glad you
direction
came
with
over.
that.
I will get you anything you want to drink.
Perfect. Take a.
That was not me that just said that. I do not know. You want a glass of milk?
Yes, please. That's all
yeah,
you get,
that's about all we have around this joint these days.
Wow. Yeah. Can't wait till it's winter and you guys just have time on your hands again and you stock back up. But no.
Let's hear some highlights now of the trip.
Okay, well, I'm gonna say real quick.
Oh yeah, what about
pretty
a polar
much
bear?
is polar bears are basically illegal to hunt. There's a rare situation you get like a trophy card or something like that.
Okay,
There's
but
only,
you
like,
really can't hunt
but they're
them.
practically
Okay, so you were right.
illegal. Yeah, like normal.
For
I'm
once.
joking.
My
You
word.
can't really say that and feel right about it because that's yeah.
That's good to know because I didn't.
See, I've been
technically know.
living my life with more conviction. With more convictions.
About shaving your facial hair.
Yeah. See, notice I did it for you.
I did.
Actually.
No, you didn't.
It doesn't. No, not about taking facial hair, but like tearing other people apart.
Like,
Kind of like what I've just been doing.
I was gonna say.
No, I'm joking.
Honestly-
no, on a normal day-to-day basis, obviously, I don't feel like that's right. There's just we get each other, and that's
If
just
you didn't
like,
tear me apart, I would think something was
yeah,
wrong.
you'd actually probably be.
If you
concerned.
didn't like flat out just like run me under the
because
bus.
it wouldn't be my natural me
Yeah,
and you
yeah.
relationship. So then it'd be like, okay, what's hindering this? And that would actually be like, okay,
Yeah.
what's going
And who
on?
knows?
But-
It may be facial hair that could set a wedge in our relationship. I don't know how, but I could think of some ways. If you poked me somehow with your facial hair, and it hurt, it made me mad. But I'm
It'd
purposely
be
not to
difficult.
be mad.
I feel like yeah. No. Okay.
So that's good.
Answer your question. My trip was really good. I really like Washington.
Like more than you more than you realized.
Yeah.
Like so you went
And
back
I
there.
apologize for my family and friends from Indiana that are listening to this because I know that they are out there.
No,
And Indiana is great.
yeah, but you realized that, like, so you actually like came back. You're, okay, I like Washington a lot more than I realized.
Yeah.
just because you went somewhere
get
maybe you
used
don't.
to it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And like it always happens, but it's always that thought of like the grass always looks greener on the other side of the fence.
Oh,
and so it's
my,
just
yeah.
like I start living in Washington, and then I start remembering like, well, this was like, oh, I miss this about Indiana, or oh, I miss this about
Right.
Indiana. And one of the things is like all the restaurants, all the stores and stuff in Lafayette. I'm like, man, I miss all that,
Mm-hmm.
and not having that here.
Can't have it all.
But then I think I
yeah.
come back and I'm like, no, like I'd rather have some of this than just order online or whatever.
Well, you're gonna sacrifice something for something.
Right.
But that is,
I think the hardest thing here is still dealing with the expenses and
But dude,
the
but the
politics.
stupidest thing is
But-
you don't notice the mountains very often. Like
You don't.
where you're at, you don't realize, and then you
Right.
go somewhere else, and you're like,
It's just like this is flat.
what the world? And then you're like, you come home, and you're like, oh, those mountains are beautiful.
Yeah.
So it's kind of we are so grass is greener on the other side
It
of the
is
fence. type of
very
people.
very much.
It's
Yeah.
so terrible.
yeah.
It's like why
But
can't we just be
I
content?
don't know. That's just coming out here is like man. Yeah.
So you're not a big humidity guy anymore.
I'm not.
Which
no.
you never really were,
I
but
never
you just
did
didn't
like it.
hate it. Like you were like, okay.
Right. I can't because I was like out doing landscaping in it for a couple
And was it-
years.
Yeah.
And it was horrible. I just grew up with it though, so I knew no different. Now, see, I've been spoiled by like it can be 90 degrees outside, but as long as you go in the shade with a tiny bit of breeze, it's a beautiful summer afternoon. Like
Yeah.
there's like it's 70 degrees out, but you're
And
still
you're
sitting on the
like,
deck
"God."
like, oh, I'm sticky.
Yeah. But it is what you get used to. I think that's what it is.
right.
Ultimately
And you just
adapt.
adjust to it.
So
So
like
no,
if I stuck you in our freezer, you'd probably adapt. If you didn't, oh, you would. Because if
Yeah.
you didn't adapt, then
no, I don't think I would adapt to your freezer temperature. I think I would slowly die off. But anyway, I
mean-
am gonna say one thing though. My Indiana trip, probably one of my highlights. Okay, like definitely one of my highlights is going and visiting Garrett. He's one of your good friends too now. But
yeah.
I
we're-
grew up with him,
We're pretty good.
so like kind of almost lifelong. Well, him and my older brother were like lifelong friends, like best friends forever type of deal. And then I kind of jumped onto that relationship, and then we kind of Garrett and I became
Jumped
friends.
on.
Like the three of
What's
us did
jumping on
everything
a relation-
together.
okay.
But I was like, us three guys literally did everything together in life back in
Just
Indiana.
because that's how it was.
Yeah,
when
and
you
then
were
I've
there.
stood up and was best man at his wedding and stuff. So like,
Hey, don't rub that in.
I just had to add that in.
No,
there
no, I
just
gotta
for
tell
you.
him. I stood up and this
you
guy's.
stood up.
Yeah, but you
Yeah.
were ahead of me.
Right. Yeah.
I hope he listens to this.
So
I hope he
he is a
listens.
good friend. But you can just. You were 1, 2, 3.
Basically,
4?
needless to say, everyone,
I think you were 4 down the list.
he's good friends of both of ours, but he likes Preston better.
Right,
That's
yeah.
simply
Yeah.
the truth.
But anyway, shout out to Garrett and Sierra, his wife, newlywed wife, due to the wedding.
Newlywed wife? What about him?
Newlywed
He's like,
couple.
Garrett's newlywed wife.
But that
Wait,
was a lot of fun, and I know we've had a
Yeah.
podcast a month finding friends, and
good choice.
and
there.
something it was actually like I did kind of want to share it is like not anything to pat myself on the back because or if anything it's been Garrett that's helped push the
I got you.
relationship.
Turn around.
Would you please? Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, you're a lot funnier than I remembered. It's definitely been
But
a while.
like the value, like obviously he's in Indiana, I'm in Washington. Our lives are both busy, so the communication sometimes kind of like sometimes like
Doesn't
I would
hardly
love to
exist,
communicate a lot
yeah.
more. Yeah, like you know too. His life gets busy.
Yeah.
But then to be able to go back and like we
Yeah,
pick off like we were never gone.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
We just carry on a
it's
conversation.
that friendship. I think
Yeah.
that's what makes and breaks it.
It's
It's
just
not that
like-
awkward, 40
yeah,
minutes of
kind
being
of
together.
break the
No,
ice. It
it's
was like no icebreaker hardly. It was literally I saw him and it was like back to old
Yeah.
days. And it's
That's
so
how you
fun
know who
because
your
now
true
Sierra,
friends are.
Sierra, his wife, she feels like she's just comes right in. So it's just like it feels like almost she's just a part of him, and it's just
But
like
dude, but
I
that
had so much fun.
that's true by the way.
Yeah, I don't know. So that's why I'm just saying it's like it is so valuable. Which he has been such a good. Well, he's pushed me in life. He's given me a lot of wisdom in different
We're
ways.
gonna have to just name this podcast after him. This
Garrett,
episode.
literally a
Just
Garrett
be like,
episode.
Garrett.
Like
Yeah.
go be friends with Garrett.
Cool guy, everybody.
Which he's popular too.
we could
so you're
we
probably
could
already
put
friends
his
with
number
him.
like link in the bio.
I don't think he's as popular as you, but
Depends on
dude,
what
you know how like we're not popular, but like if we were famous, you know how annoying that'd be for Garrett because like everybody would be messaging them.
Yeah, that'd be funny.
That'd drive him nuts.
If he listens to this,
It's
he's
just
not.
mean though. You
Dude,
don't
we're
do
gonna
that.
lose.
I'd do that to you, but not Garrett.
We're gonna lose a relationship if he listens to this.
So I'm saying I would do that to you, but
All
not
right,
Garrett.
all right. Back
Anyway.
on track.
So yeah.
I'm gonna give an animal fact. I feel like it.
Okay. Great. I'm ready for this.
Okay. I missed a phone call from someone, but clearly they don't need anything. Okay. I feel like you're gonna laugh. You're gonna laugh at this regardless of whether it has
No,
to
I'm
do
not.
with an ostrich
No, I'm not gonna laugh because
or a robin or a bird.
you probably found this animal fact like 2 minutes ago.
No, 4.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, here we go.
At least.
You ready? You can ask me anything about this animal fact, and I will know,
Okay. Perfect.
like usual.
Yeah.
So think of something. Sea otters. I think I've heard something like this
Well,
before.
I'm pretty sure I already know this fact.
Okay, go ahead and read it then.
No. Start.
No, you tell me, and then I'll read the animal fact.
Just keep.
No.
going, please.
No.
Yeah. Please do.
Which eye do you want black if you don't start talking?
What about sea otters? I
So
know they
they-
swim in the water.
So sea otters hold toes when they sleep.
That's not the animal fact. Is it something about holding stones on the chest and breaking open food and stuff?
Okay, yeah, no, but that's not what this one's
okay.
about.
Okay.
I was just throwing it off to see if you would kind of. That's nothing to do. Sea otters hold hands when they sleep to keep from drifting
Yeah, I didn't
apart.
know that.
It's called rafting, and it helps them stay connected to their group while they float in the water. Which I've heard something like that
Yeah.
before, because like otherwise they would like float.
I
They
think
could
they
just
put the
float.
babies in the middle or something, like
Yeah.
around them.
Which it's like yeah. So they basically probably just it's like a natural
Yeah.
link basically
Right.
that they make, and then they don't ever drift apart. Because otherwise, you just drift.
The value of holding hands.
Correct.
Yeah. No, we can't do that. But
I'm not gonna. I'm not holding your hand for anything other than you just said there was a value in it, and I'm curious what kind
the
of
value
value.
of holding hands. But no, that is an interesting fact.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, I
do you
guess
want
the value-
to know anything about them? Because I probably know.
No, I don't.
You don't have
I have
any
no
question
interest
for
in.
me. You've no interest in my
Do they have
facts.
whiskers?
Yes. Yes, they do. They do. I know
Okay,
that.
where do they live?
Where do otters live?
Yeah, native.
Tunnels.
No,
They
like
live in
native.
a water punk.
Right, but not like everywhere.
Native.
Yeah.
Does every animal have a native spot?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Mm-hmm.
There's
Like
not
horses.
the same.
horses-
There's not like the same animal
no,
could
horses
come from
were-
2 different spots.
Like cows would not originate from South or North America. like they came from Europe or something. You brought them across.
Right. So, but what you're telling me is there's not one species of animals that could originate from two different areas.
Possibly. I'm not gonna go that nitty gritty. But where's the main area? Like
Kentucky.
you're not gonna find them in Indiana.
Kentucky. Native from Kentucky.
The state that
No,
has no water.
No, they're in this. Yes, it does. It has this river. It's where the
Are they actually?
It's where the otters spawn in.
I'm trying to figure out if you're lying to me or
No,
not.
dude,
This is a reason why you don't
it's-
lie to your friends.
It is literally. It's like close to the Panama Canal.
Okay, now I know yours. Now I know yours.
I couldn't come up with a stupid river name fast enough.
You were holding to it for long enough. I'm like, okay, what's actually going on? And then it's Panama Canal. Nope.
I have no.
Oh boy. See, you didn't know the animal. Oh boy.
That's
Yeah.
hilarious.
No, but okay. Are you done with the animal fact?
Sure.
Cool.
I mean, I was just gonna keep making stuff up. I just hit a slow patch for a
This is
second.
why you don't lie, guys. No, but the value in holding hands. So is
What
there
about it?
is like obviously in relationships and stuff, obviously you come to a point that eventually you're okay with holding hands. What
Right.
is what is passed through holding hands? What's the connection with holding hands? Like because obviously there's different lines. Like you have to come to a moment. It's not like you're just
Yeah.
like natural. You're walking on the side
I
of the
feel
next
like-
it's like, oh wow, we're holding hands. I didn't think about that. Like obviously you have to have a decided time to hold hands. Like what?
So the main or one of the big things is it's like a physical connection, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
That God just created to be there and exist.
Yeah.
But I think what takes
Five and
superiority,
five.
superiority. That's how you say
Yeah.
that word. Over that is the emotional connection you actually get from that.
Yeah.
Not from holding hands itself, but what it causes your
Yeah.
speech towards, like, it just changes your whole presence of mind.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, yeah, I think that would be my answer to that. It's a
Okay.
major emotional.
Yeah.
It just changes your whole emotional state, how you're feeling at the time.
Right.
It messes with your mind more than it actually does. Like, oh, we're holding hands.
Yeah. Right. No, that makes sense.
That's what I would say.
Okay.
It's
Are
a really
you-
cool
are you
thing.
Like a physical touch guy. Like.
Kind of.
Okay.
Sometimes.
I want to say just from what I've noticed, I want to say you're nearly as.
Not necessarily. I
Huge
wouldn't say that's
as-
one of my love language. Like, it's not something that, like,
Yeah.
I'm
I'm
like-
like guys are gonna probably like physical touch to extent if you have like a wife. Like that's just natural and like a marriage.
Yeah,
or something, but,
totally.
like.
but some it definitely is a bigger deal. To me, it's not as much of a big deal.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm kind of like a solo, like I could just kind of do whatever.
Yeah.
Like, I don't have to always, like, I'm married, but I don't always have to be with her or always have to
Right.
have her, like, 2 feet away. Like,
So I would say you're not like. Yeah.
I'm definitely fine with, like, whatever. Like,
Right. Yeah.
just more that way. I'm just kind of that style.
Yeah. So you're not like one of my other friends.
Correct. Yeah,
Um,
that one. That's a good friend.
Um.
But yeah, that's,
okay.
I don't know.
So which I forget what you did when you and Zimmer were dating. Did
We did hold hands.
I know you guys did, but like, when did you decide?
When did we hold hands?
Yeah, was it?
Well,
like,
we
right
predated
off
for
the
like
bat?
we
Can I
predated for
date
like a
your
year.
daughter? You predated for a year, yeah.
For like a year, and then it was
a
like,
trial run, yeah.
yeah, it was not a trial run.
It was practically a trial.
No, it
run.
was very much a
It's
success.
like, do I want to date her? And
No.
then it was like, you practically date for. They did everything dating a year
Other than date, which is the whole
without the word of dating.
right. Are we arguing right now?
No, we agreed.
No, you lost. I don't
He
know. why.
literally got her flowers. They weren't dating.
True, but it was a good relationship. So we
Well,
held
it was-
hands. I believe it was like 3 months into dating.
But that's like
A
really
month.
a year and 3
Yeah,
months.
a
into
year and
dating.
3 months.
15 months into dating, yeah.
So, but I think
Would
timing,
you-
all that stuff, totally depends on the type of people, what
Yeah.
you want, and where.
Because I
you're
think
at
that
in your
can like
relationship.
it can look completely different if you have two people that are super strong physical touch. People
Right.
like that's a love language of theirs. Like you want to be a little more cautious maybe with when you guys hold hands.
Yeah.
And how
Oh,
you
yeah.
go about it.
Yeah,
Um.
for sure.
Yeah. No.
You said you were gonna ask me a question earlier. I'm
I was
forgetting
too.
what-
But one other question. So like, if you had a daughter or something, would you set?
if I have a daughter, I do have a daughter, by the way.
Coming, yeah. When I should say when your daughter
Coming
is old
soon.
enough. No.
Did you know what I realize?
You have a boy.
No, I'm not.
You have a girl. Yes, you have a girl. I forgot about that.
Bro, you forget already?
Yeah, I've been gone for a week.
Did you know what's different about a piece of mail and a child?
A piece of mayo?
Mail. Like
Mail?
M-A-I-L.
Oh, no. What?
Like mail. You can't return to sender.
What's her name? Hannah did in the Bible.
What?
Hannah did in the Bible.
Hannah who?
Hannah.
Oh, that's true, actually.
That's back to God.
Oh, okay.
So you can't return it.
Okay, that was good. I thought I had a good joke. I made up on the spot.
To return Samuel. Anyway.
Next question.
No, well, so would you set a specific age limit for her, or age limit, a certain time of dating for hand holding, or do you just let it go free? Which this is topic on multiple topics, so we should at some point talk about physical touch. We should at some point talk about.
Yeah.
These are good topics to talk about. We should.
They are, but I'll just say no.
Teaching your daughters. And
no, because it's gonna just depend on the situation and the guy.
About dating.
It's gonna depend on the guy a lot.
Yeah.
Like, I don't. It's hard to say now, but
yeah.
I think parents have to. They have to teach, but they also have to let their children learn to some extent.
From just
maybe it's the hard way.
Yeah.
But that's not all bad. So I feel like all that is totally situation comes. I'd look at it and go.
Yeah.
It just totally depends. There's 3 million factors that would make that.
Yeah, no, that definitely.
But no, I don't feel like personally I'm like, yeah, you got to do this. Like, I'm not really, I don't live that way like myself. I'm not really that like strict, like you have to do everything this certain way. Like, I'm just kind of like whatever type of guy.
Yeah. And I think the really hard thing about that with teaching your daughter something like that is because it's completely different per person. Like, you can't
have a set standard. It's really hard to have a hard set standard.
Relationship. Yeah. Like, yeah. No, that makes sense. Like, obviously, you can give them advice and wisdom, but, like, just to tell them specifically, like, don't do it until 5 months into a relationship. Like, okay.
Yeah,
it all depends, because they might be married by 6 or engaged by 6 months, depending on
if
what
I
the
said yes.
relationship's like.
If he asked me. Because he got to ask me,
Yeah, he's got to ask you if he does it.
But then I got to pay for a wedding. Then I got to pay for a wedding.
Word.
You could help me pay for it, though.
No.
Yeah, we could do like a partnership. We could do like a partnership and paying for this thing. I don't know what you get out of it.
Well, I guess if I had a boy.
Yikes. Is that actually legal even? So we're first cousins, but
it'd be second cousins
once
removed. I think it would be legal.
Yeah, I'm sure it would be.
Because second cousins actually have gotten married, let alone once removed.
No, I would not want your son part of my family. Never.
Well, I'm not even married, let alone pregnant, well, I've never been pregnant.
Yikes,
my wife's not pregnant, I don't even have a wife, and
your hole's only getting deeper.
There have to be a boy, and there, yeah. Your wife's laughing at us, this is not funny.
Yeah, it is funny. It's hilarious. What are you looking at?
Her drink.
She's making some drink of some sort.
Okay,
in the kitchen.
Moving on. Oh yeah, the question I was going to ask you.
You were going to ask me a question.
Oh man,
please make it quick. This is hurting.
Well,
I forget what it was.
Yeah, that could actually be maybe even a future topic or whatever. But
ask me now.
Okay, how important?
Taxes is the answer.
No, that's not it.
Oh.
How important is like youth for your children, and like a thriving youth group compared to a thriving church, which youth group would almost be part of a church, could be part of like the thriving community, but like compared to a thriving say it's a pastor, however your church does it, say it's multiple pastors, like ministry, say you have a thriving ministry or head pastor that's just like preaching the word, that's like not being lukewarm, like you have a thriving that, but say you don't have that good of a youth like how important is youth? Because like, what if you found a church that was perfect but didn't have a thriving?
So I would have obviously grown up, and you would have too, but I would have grown up with youth being very, very important, and actually being something that, like, honestly, kind of what I lived for. Like, this sounds really bad, but it's kind of what I live for. I live for the next youth event.
Right.
Or the next time I could get together with youth and play something or do this.
Mm-hmm.
But as far as, like, thinking in the future for my kids, I think youth is, hands down, it's important.
Yeah.
To what extent, I'm not fully sure. Because I've kind of seen really strong family units that have, like, not taken the place of a youth group, but haven't really had a youth group, but have, like, really thrived pretty well. Yeah. Their kids have. Simply, I feel like, because they had each other and their parents developed a really good, like, family unit. It wasn't that the youth group wasn't needed. It just maybe wasn't needed as much.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what I would say.
Okay.
I think it's important, though.
Right.
And would I want my kids to have it? Yes. Yeah. Do I think it's important? Yes. Is it like do or die? Not necessarily, but friends are important in general. Peers, like.
Yeah, it's so hard. It's just, obviously, life's changing. I'm getting older. I'm more and more coming out of that youth. Like.
Yeah.
Youth stage, like, that's not
fully,
obviously, like, I'll
facial
still
hair?
go to youth things and stuff, but like, I don't, it's not just like, it'd be more actually just for like blessing others or like
eating the
specific
food.
People I want to hang out with, so I'll go to a youth group or something,
right?
Or just there to bless the younger people or something. But like, it's obviously not nearly as important. So more and more, I'm more focused on like, okay, a church, like, but I love this church, but it's because of like the pastors or like the church older community, like how they serve each other or like are helping others in mission fields or whatever. Like, I'm like, wow, this is an amazing church. But there's been a couple that I'm like, I don't just love the youth they have or whatever. So for now, I guess, like, even while I'm single or even if I get married, like, as long as like her and I are on the same page, like, that can still be a huge blessing, having that. But still having that in mind, that obviously if you have a vision of having family and raising kids,
is youth a big deal to you?
How important is that?
Is that a big deal to you? Like, if you in the future would have kids, would get married and have kids, right now, from your perspective in life, would it be a big deal that your kids had a youth group? Kind of. Basically, your kids hang out with my kids is essentially what you said.
Yeah, that's why we can't live close to each other. I thought about it. I've actually had nightmares about it because like
they can't be together. You don't want our kids together.
I'm just scared to imagine like. Literally, my little boy's growing up, and your daughter is going to be like 5 years older or whatever.
I just had a thought.
Hey, Jeremy, you need to.
No, I just had a thought.
Let's go dunk you in the canal. And see
anytime my kids are around your kids,
yeah,
they have to wear helmets. Not in case they would get in a bicycle accident or something crazy. Simply because your kid's probably going to smash in his forehead.
Imagine you like a Sunday afternoon.
Yeah, your kid smashes in my kid's forehead with a Lego.
12 kids coming out of the van, all with little like colored-coded helmets on, probably with a name across them. It's like
because
elbow pads.
You were dangerous, young. You smashed in my forehead.
Oh, that's why.
Yeah, you smashed in my forehead. I'm thinking, your little kid's gonna do that to my kid. So no.
Oh my word.
No, we're wearing hard hats
from young. Like, if someone takes your toys. Smash him in the forehead.
That's what you did to me, bro. I don't think your parents taught you that. You learned that on your own. That was all natural there. That came straight out of you.
Oh boy, no, yeah, no. It is. Really
my kids would probably be cool to hang out with.
I think so, probably.
We'll see.
Well, yeah, I don't know. Between the two, yeah, I think they'll be decent.
Yeah, they'll either be really crazy or pretty mild.
What? Yeah. They might be crazy, but I feel like they'll still be like, I would trust my kids with your kids. I feel like it.
At the end of the day,
yeah,
it's not like you'd be.
I mean, that will like I can imagine like all like if I someday get married, like all four of us are just like laughing at our kids being probably like stupid, and I can either imagine like I don't really imagine
be
like
more stupid.
Like your guys' kids or something being crazy and like mine just being like I imagine either they're both just kind of like normal kids,
or they're
like,
all
we think they're gonna be crazy, but like we teach them. And it's just like they're just normal kids. Or I almost imagine them all just being like just crazy. And it's just like we get together and just like, oh, Tristan, what did we do?
I have a feeling the latter's more reality. It depends. Genetics do play a big role.
Although I don't know, my tendency is like...
You're pretty mellow.
Well, no, like I don't deal super well with just unpunished things. Like,
unpunished?
Yeah, like I don't deal well with just
basically,
like unruly kids.
That's why you smashed in my forehead because you thought I needed punished.
So, in one sense, I don't actually picture just too craziness.
No, I think they'd be decently trained. I mean, we'll find out. If you get married
at this point, yeah, I think I'll just be a bachelor in the Rocky Mountains like I always said it was.
Well, I was going to join you, but sorry, bud. Maybe we can do that in heaven.
A little late now. In heaven? No, your wife.
No, we are married in heaven.
Well, then we wouldn't know each other probably.
Well, why wouldn't we know each other? Yeah, we're gonna know each other.
So you'll know your wife, but
Yeah.
she won't be your wife.
No.
So who she will? It's another whole.
So we
conversation.
could go hang out in the Rockies.
No, because the Rockies won't be.
How do you know? I'm sure there'll be mountains in heaven. I'm sure there will be. Why wouldn't there be? They're beautiful.
I think so. My uncle was just saying. I think there's. I'm going from my uncle to his. I think dad or something. Don't take this for solid, but there won't be. I don't think any water, or at least ocean in mountains in heaven. He believes because there won't be any chaos. I think there's some version of
Why are
no chaos, and like the water is just chaos. It's never. It's just like it's crashing. Mountains aren't just like.
Why? There's a river of life.
It's not going to be chaos.
There's gonna be no chaos in heaven. Well,
There's a river of
I'm
life.
not believing it.
No, I don't believe in it at
You
all.
should get your wife in on
Because
these
there's a
things.
river of life in heaven itself. Anyway, it's moving. A river. Yeah.
Or is it like just like a stream that's like almost crystal?
Yeah,
like,
but I think
smooth?
that's what an ocean would be. Why
Ocean
would
is crashing waves. It's like in a way a type of chaos. I mean, it can be soothing and stuff, but it's
Yeah,
not
but
like.
no, but it's not going to cause any problems. Same thing for a mountain. A mountain's not going to get
I'm
erupted.
not saying it's going to cause problems. It's just the chaos of nature.
Yeah, but nature is going to look different in heaven. The lion's going to lay down with the lamb.
Because was there actually an ocean before the flood? Probably not. Was there actually mountains before the flood? A good chance not.
Yeah, there's a good chance not.
So it maybe wasn't God's actual creation, his tendency to have like.
I wonder if I
rocky
showed the
mountains.
crater on my forehead then before the flood.
Will you have that in heaven? Is the question.
Probably.
You do not have a.
Yeah, I do. Right, like right here, you can see it. Yeah.
Baby.
I'm pretty sure Jesus is
Can't
going to be
hardly
like,
see
when
it,
he gives me a new body, he's going to be like, we're going to leave that on there. That'll make
Just a
pretty good,
reminder.
that'll make a good laugh up there.
Just a good reminder.
Anyway.
No.
Enough
Anyway,
of that. That's crazy.
Yeah, no. Where did we come from? I think the kid thing.
That's where it kind of stemmed from.
I think the children thing would be. It's really hard because I'm really passionate about like finding a really solid church with like leadership because that takes your church, like
Good places and
yeah, and agreeing with like the belief. I don't know, and it's really hard to find that. Like nowadays, like harder and harder because obviously the devil likes lukewarmish or just faded lines and stuff.
Yeah.
But that's really important. But also, I'm realizing partially just because like my parents grew up like we were in a transition of obviously leaving German Baptist and like coming back, moving out here, just a bunch of different things. Me leaving like a whole bunch of different things, and I just like as a childhood like that really, which my tendency was not to deal very well with change, but it made it really hard. Even my spiritual life, it made it really really hard, and sometimes that's good. Sometimes that change and stuff is good,
yeah.
but I think even if you're moving and stuff like that, as long as you're moving to a place with like a solid youth for your children, it would be really important. I'm not saying that you can't do it otherwise.
right, but it's
that
a
would just
good
be
idea.
important to me.
I've seen people move places kind of for that, and I think that's
Right, and I've seen people not, and it's worked out, but I still saw like effects.
Oh,
I still
yeah.
had effects from the children,
Oh, yeah.
even though they did very well and they taught them very well. And I think you can still do it if you have a like.
But
have
they
a
miss
very
something.
Purposeful.
they
But
totally.
there's just you just in a way get one. I mean, you have your siblings, but like there's something about having other people that you can totally trust your age, genuine friends that you can hang out with during the weekend or whatever. Like
Oh, for sure,
anyway,
for sure.
So.
Cool.
Well, we did it.
We did what?
A full podcast with like
Hey,
zero preparation.
I told you it was like gonna be just getting together and
but
having a
anyway.
good time.
Yeah,
Talking about my
just-
scars.
yeah.
There'll be no scars in
Just
heaven.
true.
That's good. Oh shoot! I won't have it then. Well, he may make an exception. That is.
There would be no scars in heaven. Like
He didn't say
passed
craters.
From earth to passed from earth to heaven. But can we make scars in heaven?
Oh my word, dude! That is not even a legit question. Yeah, you'll be jet skiing down the river of life and run into the tree or something and get a scar.
I just wonder if I could redo it in heaven just to keep the memory there.
Oh, redo it.
yeah, it's like our connection.
You think we'll be sitting there playing Legos in our mansion?
It might be. You know how fun that would be.
No, it would not be fun. Actually,
Kind of.
kind of. If I like
Just carefree life.
Yeah.
Building away Legos.
it's not even
You
carefree.
have unlimited supply.
You're like, I need a new piece.
I'm
Well,
pretty sure Uncle Keith would join us too.
yeah, that's true.
Anyway,
Yeah,
but-
he would.
Okay,
Cool.
well, we'll go into the Bible verse that we have for you. End with 2 Timothy 1, verse 7. For God gave us a spirit, not of fear, but of power and love and self-control.
What version is that? Like Jang Ving Vong?
No, ESV.
Oh.
I used to KSV.
You can't even say.
KSV.
Okay, I'll say it's a different version.
KJV. Yeah.
That's good.
Anyway, it's just
That's encouraging.
read all of 2 Timothy 1. Read the whole Bible. Read all of 2 Timothy 1.
I'm working on that right now, actually.
Chapter what?
Whole Bible.
Yeah. Oh, you're going through the whole Bible?
You didn't take me serious.
Like Genesis,
Yeah, I'm reading it.
Exodus, Leviticus,
Through. Yeah.
Numbers. That
Like,
way?
I'm not reading
Ooh,
it very
that's hard.
fast. But yeah, I'm literally,
That's challenging.
I'm struggling not to be a little bored.
Right, because you go through sections that are so
Oh.
good, and you go through sections that just get like.
It's just kind of, but it's good. The whole Bible's
But
good.
it is really good.
But yeah.
Chronologically, it's really interesting because you go through dry sections, but it is interesting to see how the whole Bible, like.
Next
what
time I'm
comes
going
in
to read
order.
it backwards to front.
Don't do that either. Start with Revelation and then end with. That would be weird.
I'm just,
Go
okay. I was just talking.
Would you go each verse back? Then no, don't do that. You'd get no.
It wouldn't make any sense.
Yeah, but eating.
Eating.
Can't talk tonight. We're just gonna end this thing anyway. Have a great weekend, guys.